Hey, what's good, my fellow masters? As March has arrived, the annual Chaldea Boys collection is upon us, which means more of a focus on the husbando servants, some of whom are featured on the new set of limited craft essences for CBC 2025. So this will be a guide for the CBC event titled The Story of Chaldea Heavy Industries, Business to Business from Me to You, and from the looks of things, it could be quite the Gouda Gouda-esque adventure in store for us. The planned start for the event is March 5th at 0000 PST after the usual preparatory server maintenance. No official duration at the time of this recording, but based on the time period indicated for an event future, it's safe to say March 24th, which would be just shy of 3 weeks by a couple days. The participation requirement is only to have cleared Fuyuki, so it's very much accessible to the newer masters out there. But before we delve into the mechanics of the event, let's look at some of the Chaldea Boys collection campaign goodies we can look forward to. There will be a special 8-day login bonus that will have a different voice cutscene from the new Archer class servant Takasugi Shinsaku each day of the login, similar to what we had from Arjuna Altar last year. It will also provide 1 summon ticket and 500,000 QP each day up to the 7th login. And on the 8th day, the reward will be a new 4-star command code, Electromagnetic Shamisen. And for the engraved card it's on, it will gain 50% star absorption and when attacking with said card, 2 crit stars. The other key aspect to the Chaldea Boys collection campaign is the special exchange ticket you will receive when first logging in during the campaign period. And with it, you can choose to receive one of the limited craft essences for this event. Personally, I tend to just choose one of the 5-star CEs that have the effects I like the most. But who knows, there might be a 4 or 3-star CE among the choices that you find more appealing. I'll go over these CEs in more detail later in the video. Just please remember to use the exchange ticket to grab your CE before the allotted time to do so runs out. Also a feature of the CBC 2025 campaign are voice lines for these limited craft essences between the servants that are depicted on them. The voice lines will play when you first summon one of them or when you claim the free one from your present box. Plus, there will be a way to manually play the voice lines in the craft essence details. Lastly, there will be some Chaldea Boys flavored Twitter headers and icons available to download from the official FGO English page, for those that are interested. Playing through the event is pretty straightforward and has basically the same point format as the Valentine's event that recently ended. Clear a main quest in order to unlock an event free quest, farm the free quests that have been unlocked to gather up the event points, referred to in this event as Takasugi points. A variety of rewards will be gained as the Takasugi points increase and hit certain increments. We can look forward to the usual range of decent amounts of specific ascension mats, some QP and mana prisms, and even a few summon tickets. To get all of the available point rewards, 3 million Takasugi points will be needed. The main quest will follow a schedule and one section or chapter of the event story will unlock daily during the first week. Here I'm showing what the quest schedule for this event looked like for JP. When the story of Chaldea Heavy Industry starts, the prologue and section 1 of the main quest will be available. Once you've played through that, 3 initial free quests will be then accessible to get you started on gathering up those event points. Assuming no alterations to the schedule from JP, the next day at server refresh, section 2 of the main quest should unlock, and the pattern will repeat each subsequent day until we get to the final section and epilogue. Please note that from the main quest section 2 onwards, there are point requirements in order to access them. Aside from the typical main quest, free quest, gather event points aspect, there are no special / extra quests or other mechanics involved, making for a relatively simple event. But there is a pretty unique feature to highlight related to the My Room section of the game interface. For a limited time, there will be an ability to place 2 servants in your My Room. This is something we had during last year's CBC, shown with this example, and notice the button indicated to select more than 1 servant to display. In addition to that, something new is the ability to take some in-game Polaroid-style photos of your servants. Though it should be noted, this can only be done when just 1 servant is placed in your My Room. But even with that limitation, it can be something fun to play around with and get some nice snapshots of your favorite servants. And there will also be various different My Room backgrounds in rotation throughout the event duration to help make those snapshots look better. Now, as for the rewards we can expect from playing through and completing the event's main quest, we can obtain 8 Saint Quartz, 3 of each of Void Dust, Forbidden Pages, and Reactor Cores of Dawn, 6 of each of the event shop currency, not counting any event bonuses here, and 1 Holy Grail after the epilogue. Naturally, the points ladder offers a number of rewards to give us extra incentive to farm up the free quests, other than just trying to unlock the next part of the event story. As previously mentioned, accumulating 3 million Takasugi points will allow you to obtain all of the rewards, which are 30 Heroes Proofs, 20 Arrowheads of Malice, 10 Divine Wine, and 3 Crystallized Lores. For non-Ascension materials, you can get a combined 1,000 Mana Prisms, 60 million QP, 9 Bronze, 10 Silver, and 11 Golden Apples, 2 of each 4-star HP and attack foes, plus 1 of each card type command code opener. And of particular note, 3 summon tickets to add to your savings. Those tickets will be obtained at 50,000 points, 400,000 points, and the last one at 800,000 Takasugi points. With the Valentine's event, there were a number of options that provided a bonus to event points gained and were relatively easy to access. However, the Chaldea Heavy Industries event is not actually as generous, for it's the limited time CEs that provides the bonus to both Takasugi points and event shop currency. And while we do get to obtain one of these CEs with the CBC 2025 exchange ticket, if you want to further increase the bonus to event points, then you will have to spend some quartz, at least for the 4 and 5-star CEs. Fortunately, the 3-star CEs can still show up through the friend points summons. Now, let's take a closer look at this set of 9 CEs. First up is the 5-star 3 in the Black, featuring Charlemagne playing some darts with Astolfo, having a blast, using Roland as his dartboard, and naturally Roland is in his birthday suit. I guess Roland's placement of the dartboard is pretty optimum to protect his junk. For the event, having the CE equipped will provide a 30% bonus to Takasugi points gained, or 60% if MLB. It will also increase the number of gold tier shop currency, Waraji Katsudon, by +1 or +2 if MLB. Its non-event effects include an Ignore Defense, an 8% boost to quick cards, and a 15% increase to NP damage, and that becomes 10% for quick cards and 20% to NP damage for an MLB version. Once again, you can obtain 1 3 in the Black CE if you select it to exchange for the CBC ticket. Otherwise, you will need to roll on the event's pickup summons to get more copies. The second of the 2 5-star CEs is Eternal Rome, with some dripped out Roman bros of Chaldea, Constantine, Julius Caesar, and Romulus, who I almost didn't recognize in his dapper outfit. Like the previous 5-star CE, Eternal Rome gives a 30% or 60% bonus to points when it's equipped on a servant, along with a +1 or +2 increase to Waraji Katsudon shop currency drops. This is a pretty nice CE if you were looking for something more defensive, with its regular effects of a 2 attack invincibility and a 3 or 400 flat damage cut depending on if it's MLB or not. So these 2 5-star CEs offer the most in terms of a bonus to event points. For that reason, I would say it's probably best to choose one of these with the exchange ticket, especially if you don't plan on rolling on any of the event banners. Of course, some may have other reasons for choosing a CE, so let's continue with the 4 stars. The event bonuses for the 3 limited 4-star CEs all provide a 20% increase to points gained, or for an MLB copy, 40%. And for the silver tier shop currency, Sayama Ocha, the 4-star CEs increase drops by +1 or +2 if MLB. As for their individual regular effects, looking at Proof and Rebuttal first, that features an elderly Moriarty seemingly getting the best of younger Moriarty in a chess match under the watch of an utterly unimpressed looking Holmes. It will also increase both Arts and Buster performance by 6% and provide a 1-stage NP overcharge. An MLB copy changes the effects to 8% for Arts and Buster. The second of 3 4-star CEs is Professor's Lunchtime, featuring 3 of the more intellectually inclined of Chaldea's servants, Yamanami Keisuke, Paracelsus, and Chiron. Wait, Keisuke really? Well, here they're sitting down together to enjoy a midday meal and all dressed quite fashionably, if I may say so. It will provide a 3 or 4% NP charge per turn, a 3 or 5% increase to Arts cards, and a 5 or 10% increase to NP generation. The last of the 4-star CEs is Brilliant Springtime, depicting a wholesome moment of Hu Yang Feiyu, apparently with his sons, enjoying some Sakura viewing with Taisoi Seongjun, if I didn't completely butcher that, and its regular effects is a one-time debuff immunity to the servant who has it equipped, plus a pretty decent 15% or 20% NP generate based on if it's MLB or not. Now for the set of 4 3-star event CEs, which all provide a 10% bonus to points, which doubles to 20% if MLB. The event currency bonus is a +1 or +2 gain to the bronze shop currency, Zeri Deep Fry. Looking at the regular effects specific to each CE, the one called For Your Letters, which pictures an interesting trio of Dr. Jekyll, David, and Diarmuid, who are shown delivering mail as perhaps the best dressed postal workers I've ever seen. This CE will increase overall star absorption by 100% and provide 1 crit star per turn. This becomes a 200% star absorption and a 2 crit star gain every turn if MLB. All the Way Bang is next up with Napoleon, Kentucky, and Fergus busting out some strikes in a testosterone-fueled bowling match. It will ignore evasion when equipped, along with increasing Buster Card effectiveness by 3% or 5% if MLB. This 3-star CE is called Withered with an interesting evening discussion, but the localization will probably shorten that title. Anyway, we've got 3 distinguished gents in Yagyu Moninori, Zhangju, and Don Quixote enjoying their evening with some delicious looking food and some adult beverages. Well, Don's got 2 drinks in hand, so he's really living it up. Its normal effects is a 50 or 100 HP recovery per turn, and a 5% or 10% boost to NP damage depending if it's MLB or not. The final CE of the set is Illuminating the Veil of Darkness, or it could be translated to Light the Night. Guess we'll see. It depicts Geronimo, Astorius, and Hessian Lobo all sitting around a campfire that has brightened up the surrounding nighttime forest a bit. This CE can provide some very modest defensive effects, with a 1-hit evasion and a 3% or 5% increase to critical resistance. Please keep in mind, it is possible to summon these 3-star event CEs through the Friend Point Gacha, though the general odds are not great. But it does give you a chance at other sources of event point bonuses if you're trying to save your SQ and avoid rolling on the event banners. Moving on to servants with an event bonus, there are only 6 that have a damage increase. The brand new SSR Archer Takasugi Shinsaku introduced as a playable servant with this event, and the SSR Adventure Demon King Nobunaga will both have a 100% bonus to damage accompanied by a 50% bonus to bond points gained. At a 50% damage bonus is Emiya Alter, Hector, the Regend Sasaki Kojiro, and Izumo no Okuni. However, Okuni does not get a bond point bonus like the others, who all get an increase of 30%. There are other servants that will get just a 20% bond point bonus, with the ones indicated here likely to have some sort of role in the event story. And given this is the husbando version of Valentine's, all male servants not shown here will all get 20% more bond points as well. Other than the goodies from the points ladder, there are obviously lots of potentially useful items you can purchase from the event shop. And of course, you will need the 3 types of event shop currency already mentioned: Waraji Katsudon, Sayama Ocha, and Zeri Deep Fry. Among the items that require Waraji Katsudon, you may be interested in the 1 Crystallized Lore, 10 Flaming Oni Lantern Plants, 20 Evil Ceiling Lamps, 20 Tearstones of Blood, and 20 Crowns of Silvery Light. To purchase everything shown here, you will need 3,930 Katsudon. For the Sayama Ocha items, of note is another Crystallized Lore, 20 Reactor Cores of Dawn, 20 Eternal Gears, 20 Giant's Rings, and 30 Void Dust. I also want to point out the class pieces for Sabers, Archers, Assassins, and Berserkers, where you can obtain 20 of each. Class pieces in particular are resources that can be really easy to never have enough of. A total of 3,780 Ocha is required to buy everything here. Lastly are the Zeri Deep Fry shop items. For Ascension mats, it has 20 Meteor Horseshoes, 30 Dragon Fangs, 30 Forbidden Pages, 30 Bells of Absolution, and 30 Mystic Gunpowder. And if you want to buy up all that's indicated here, then it will take a total of 3,900 Deep Fry currency. To start things off for farming, once the main quest section 1 has been cleared, there will be 3 free quests that become available. The level 15 recommended Business Visit Arundite Ironworks, a standard format all Berserker node with a bias towards Deep Fry shop currency drops, which should average around 22.7 per run, give or take. For Takasugi points, the JP data I looked at indicated around 7,389 per run. And please keep in mind, the drop averages discussed will exclude any event CE bonuses. The second of the 3 is the level 25 all-rider node, Pirates Express. Ocha will be the main currency drop here, with a projected average of about 27.1 per run, along with an average of 9,054 Takasugi points. And the third of the initial free quests is the Elephant Handicrafts, a level 40 node composed of all sabers. Katsudon will mainly drop here, and you can expect about 30.1 of them each run. For points, those should average around 10.4k per run. After clearing the main quest section 2, the free quest Tomoe's Lunch will open up. It's a level 50 recommended node with all archer enemies. All 3 shop currencies will drop here in roughly equal amounts of 15 per run on average, and you can expect about 11.2k Takasugi points per run at the same time. Once section 3 of the main quest has been completed, you will have access to the level 60 all Lancer node, European style tavern, Tepes. The currency drop pattern cycles back to focusing on deep fry drops, which should average around 45.1 per run. And this will be the best drop rate specific to deep fry currency among the free quests. And for points, that will be an average of 11.6k per run. Clear main quest section 4 to unlock the Secret Company Assassin free quest. It has all assassin enemies in a standard format with a recommended party level of 70. Notably, it has a 117k HP enemy in the third wave. This will be the best place to farm specifically for the Ocha shop currency, which will have a per run drop rate of 45 on average. Takasugi points, on the other hand, will average around 12.1k. And for the best spot to farm for a Katsudon, we have the Oyama Brewery free quest, which opens up after clearing section 5 of the main quest. It's a standard node with all casters and is level 80 ranked with one enemy at 125k HP. Katsudon drops will average roughly 42.5 per run without any CE bonuses, and you should also gain about 12.6k points each run. It should also be noted that Fruits of Eternity have a pretty good drop rate chance of 24.1% compared to the best regular story free quest of 22.3%, though the drop rate chance of Serpent Jewels here of 30.3% falls behind the best story FQ rate of 45.3%. The level 90 free quest is called Black Bart Hair Salon and opens up after clearing main quest section 6. It's composed of all riders with one of them in wave 3 topping out at 143k HP. No shop currency drops here, but this is the best spot for Takasugi points farming with projected averages of 19.5k per run without any bonuses. This is also a good spot to farm some gallstones as they have a drop chance of 20.3% compared to the 13.1% of the best regular story free quest. The eternal ice drop rates of 40.1%, while decent, doesn't quite reach the regular story free quest rate of 49.4%. Then we get to the 90 plus free quest called Argonaut's Toys, Oyama Branch Store, once section 7 of the main quest has been completed. It has an all berserker format of 313 with a 199k HP solo enemy in wave 2 and a 202k HP enemy in the wave 3 lineup. All of the shop currency will drop here with a near even spread of 27 drops per run for each of them. And Takasugi points can be expected to average about 13k from this node. If you're low on scarabs, then there's an opportunity to stock up on them here since they were shown to have a drop chance of 26% compared to 13.6% in the best regular free quest. And Void Dust has a pretty decent drop rate here at 65.8%, being fairly close to par of the regular FQ's 69.3%. Last up is the 90++ node, Argonaut's Toys, Urawa Flagship Store. It unlocks after the epilogue has been cleared, and is a mix of berserkers and sabers in a 1-1-3 format. The largest HP pool mob is actually in Wave 1, with a 602k Hera Nobu to contend with. Wave 2 has a 205k Mahanaga Saber. Careful about this one, it can remove your servant's buffs if it survives your attacker's NP. And then Wave 3 has 2 moderate HP Berserkers and a 422,000 HP Jason. Like the 90+ node, this one will have all 3 shop currencies, with drops of each averaging around 33. Plus, you can expect around 13.5k Takasugi points per run at the same time. On JP, it was found to have a 31% chance to drop Eggs of Truth, which is more than double the 13.5% chance from the best regular free quest. The Ascension Mat Scales of Fantasy also has a great drop rate here at 62.2% when compared with 45.4% from the regular FQ counterpart. Now, since I suspect many will likely not have enough event CEs to equip on their farming teams, the usual question of whether to farm the 90++ node with 5 event CEs plus a black rail, or go with the easier 90+ node with a 6 CE setup is less likely to come up. However, just to cover my bases with a scenario I feel is reasonable, given that all but the 3-star event CEs are locked behind the SQ gacha, say you have 2 5-star CEs, one of your choosing and the other from support, plus 4 3-star CEs equaling a combined point bonus of 100%, farming the 90+ node should provide around 26,000 points per run, give or take a couple thousand points in variance. And for the 90++ node, with 1 CE slot dedicated to a black rail, with 2 5-stars and 3 3-star event CEs equipped, the bonus to points gain would be 90%. And with that setup, you will probably average around 25,650 Takasugi points. Again, plus or minus a bit from run to run. So for this particular scenario comparison, the difference between a 6 CE 90+ node and a 5 CE 90++ node is pretty small. And if the turn count is equal between them, I would say to focus on the 90++ free quests with its clear advantage in currency drops. Then if you hit your desired currency amounts, perhaps switch to the level 90 node if you still need to gather up the necessary points to clear the ladder. The initial pickup summon to appear with the event will naturally feature the brand new limited SSR archer Takasugi Shinsaku, the apparent face of this story of Chaldea Heavy Industries. This newest archer possesses an AoE quick type NP, and his general NP damage, compared to his peers of the archer class, is about middle of the rank. I think he could make an interesting addition to one's roster, with his notable abilities to provide some quick and buster increases for the party, along with a 1-stage NP overcharge for everyone. Plus he has a targetable 1-turn cooldown reduction tied to a pretty beefy multi-turn crit damage buff. So he's got some fairly solid support capabilities. However, Takasugi also has some pretty stiff competition this year in the AoE Archer sphere. The AoE Arts goddess Durga will be upon us in a few months or so. And then there is the all-in-one combo single target / AoE Archer Ptolemaeus to come around in October. You could even consider the limited SR Summer Barghest as a worthy alternative with her ST and AoE NP equipped kit. So if you decide to hold off on Takasugi in favor for one of these other Archer class servants, then another chance to roll for him will come around next March, plus in January 2027, and again shortly afterward in February 2027. Takasugi's raid-up partner is the permanent 3-star Lancer Hector. Now, since it's possible to summon Hector through the Friendpoint Gacha, chances are you already have him. And if you don't, not to worry, as he will eventually show up for you sooner or later. There are a few more pickup summons to be released during the course of the event. If we follow the same scheduling pattern on JP, then several days after the start of the Chaldea Heavy Industries, we'll get a banner featuring the limited SSR Avenger Demon King Nobunaga, and one of the few limited 3-star servants, Assassin Okada Izo. And to give us even more of a Guda Guda vibe, a couple days later a banner with the limited SSR Lancer Sakamoto Ryoma, accompanied by Izo again, will come up. Time permitting, I may do a more detailed overview of these two banners. But perhaps a banner more synonymous with the Chaldea Boys collection is the one that has all of the permanent and story-locked SSR husbandos. Well, most of them anyway. Odysseus and Waver on the CBC White Day Memorial banner. Now, going by the JP schedule, it's expected roughly 9 days after the start of the event. And of course, this particular banner is one of the reasons why permanent SSR male servants, and to a lesser degree the story-locked ones, are generally considered less urgent in terms of summoning priorities. The annual CBC event and this banner is something that can always be counted on if you would like to defer rolling for any of these guys in favor of more limited time servants. And that covers what I wanted to go over for this CBC 2025 event. If you found something helpful in some way, please do me a favor and hit the like button to show some love. It really helps out the channel. So, who's going to be rolling for Takasugi? He wasn't mentioned very often when I asked about everyone's summoning targets for 2025, but maybe that's changed since then. I'm curious to see. Anyways, as always, I thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, cheers!